this is Harley, and she does a lot of jumping at the kennel door, barking, and mouthing when someone approaches her kennel. So you'll note that the first treat that I toss in there is a freebie. She's actually jumping on the kennel door when I toss it. She gets the first one for free. And the reason for that is if I had waited for her to have all 4 feet on the ground, she would not have lowered her arousal level and stood there. She would have escalated higher and higher out of frustration because she doesn't understand what I want. So the first one, I toss it so that it goes behind her and she has to back up a little bit. All the treats after that are actually reinforcers for standing at the front of her kennel with her feet on the ground and not barking. We also encountered an unexpected problem, which is that Harley may not have very good eyesight. She doesn't track the treats flying past her face very well. She missed a lot of them. I switched to string cheese here because not only does she actually like it better, I discovered, but I actually switched because I thought the light color might be a lot easier to track against the beige walls of the kennel. And I also started bouncing the treats off of her flank so that she would know that they're there. You don't have to do this with most dogs, but I don't think Harley sees very well. So she does briefly bark at me. I don't reinforce, but as soon as she shuts up, even for a second, I begin the game again. I'm not going to wait very long because when dogs are really high arousal, if you wait for them to get it right, they will just continue to get it wrong and get more and more frustrated.
So she's getting pretty good. So I'm going to start to just incorporate the slip lead because I'm sure as soon as I take it off, as soon as I show it to her, she's going to lose her freaking mind.
What you'll see is now I'm starting to incorporate the sight of the leash. I have no doubt that she has a very positive emotional association with the slip lead because it means she gets to go out. So I just assumed that as soon as I stopped playing the back and forth game and presented the leash, she would probably lose her mind with excitement again. So now first I took it off my shoulders and just had it in my hand, continue to play the back and forth game a little bit. Notice she's not barking at me at this point. She's actually just standing there wagging, which is exactly what I want. I am continuing to mark yes and reward for that behavior. I briefly run out of cheese, but note that her arousal level has dropped so far that she actually just stands there quietly while I get my new string cheese out. She doesn't usually do that. She's usually a very boisterous, excited dog. So I'm also working on wiggling the door back and forth a little bit while we play the back and forth game. I have my foot propped against the door to make sure she can't accidentally push it open into my face. But I'm also incorporating a little bit of that sound of the latch and then the door moving a little bit while still reinforcing the back and forth game. As you can see, as soon as I came in, she reverted to the behavior she knows, which is jumping and mouthing. But then she's already had this really good foundation of back and forth game, so I can actually go right into playing it again, and she falls right back into it. Incorporating the slip lead a couple more times just to make sure she's not gonna get all aroused again. Now I'm estimating the fit of the slip lead, so I'm just adjusting it so that it fits properly just by eyeballing the size of her neck, which is substantial. She's a big girl. But note that while I work on the slip lead, there's no jumping, there's no mouthing, there's maybe one bark. The trick is to lower their arousal level before you go in, and then they can use their brains just fine. little bark there, but just one. I'm having a little bit of trouble adjusting the slip lead because my hands are slimy from the cheese and the hot dogs, and the metal double D ring keeps slipping out of my hands. So her arousal level is starting to creep up again. She's moving faster. She's starting to bounce. She's starting to bark. So a couple more rounds of back and forth game. And then we slip lead. Add a girl. We go into transport mode. Make sure that slip lead is on properly. And then we go. And this is why we're in transport mode, because she's a big girl who is very strong.